We are live. Welcome to the Window to Our Minds, episode 20. This is the season finale. How are you, DC?
Doing good. Doing good.
This is great. I'm glad to hear that, man. I can tell in the last few weeks, I think you've been feeling better. I don't know if I'm right on
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
I that's my guess. And I'm glad, man. So it's maybe a sign that things eventually get better.
Yeah.
What about you, Gray? How are you today?
I'm doing good. Been relatively healthy the last week, so that's a huge improvement. That's definitely helped me boost my enjoyment. Not being coughing and everything, being able to actually take a deep breath. That's nice. So, it's only improving. And yeah. What about you, Multi? How has your week been, sir?
That's a weird week. I'm having a good time. I will start my formation for my supervisor post next week. I cannot wait. That will be fun. And I had computer issues, as some of you may have noticed. Um, so now new computer, please work. Anyhow, I am losing weight. Sadly, my machine to weight myself, if we can call it that way. What's the name of the
Scale.
machine? Yeah, the scale. Yeah, exactly, the scale. So my machine to scale is broken. So I don't know how much exactly I lost weight, but I can see in the mirror I'm slimmer and I feel much better. But
Well,
this
I
is
gotta
not what.
say, this new camera and this new angle, like it instantly takes like 50 pounds off you, man. It's not flattering to have it like way below and then going up. But dude, this angle looks great on you, man. Congrats on the computer. Congrats on the losing weight. This visually shows everybody what you've been doing a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm glad about everything, and it's art, man. And I keep bringing this up because I'm proud, and I also want to be an example for the one or two viewer that will end up watching. You can do this as well. I'm just someone that decided to take action, and I think that's what matters the most. And again, I do it for myself because I want to be healthier, and that diet is damn hard, man. Like, I wake up, I eat something, and I eat nothing for like 10 hours, and the something I eat is really small. Um it's like I forgot the exact name, so we'll basically try to translate it. Cereal bar, if we can call it that way. Cereal is like um
Yeah, I think we've got those
stuffed.
too. Either that or like granola bar, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
granola bar, exactly. So I ate basically I wake up, I eat my granola bar, and I eat nothing for like 10 hours. And then I eat my dinner, and it's a small dinner. So like in the day, I think I eat maybe 1,400 calories, maybe 1,300. But even there, I exaggerate for sure because I don't think I eat that much. So it's rough, man. And when I eat, I feel amazing after, but I also like know the next meal will be far. So it's hard, it's challenging, but that's for a good reason. Be healthy. That's like the start of happiness, I do think. And in my case,
Well, that's awesome you've
that
been able to stick with it. What is this, like 4 months into it or something like
now
that?
it's 5 months. I
Dude,
started.
that's awesome, man. If you
I
can find
start.
something that you can stick with and doesn't feel like absolute torture, even though it's hard. I mean, like for sure, this isn't going to be an easy thing. But if it doesn't feel like you're torturing yourself and it's something that you can do, hell yeah, I'm glad you found one that you can kind of stick with.
Yeah, I started like a few weeks before we started our podcast here. It's crazy. It's already been 5 months we are doing Window to Our Mind, and I've been having a blast, guys. And I'd like to thank the both of you. So this week episode is really a celebration of what we did. Already 20 episodes of a second podcast. So that's great, man. Thank you to both of you. Uh, do you want to add
Dude,
something, Gray?
we definitely owe you a little bit more thanks. You're the one who does the work, comes up with the questions and the topic, and then we always say, "Oh yeah, we forgot." But that's awesome, man. So thank you for having the gumption to put this together and the stick-to-itiveness to get us questions each week.
Yeah, and today is Valentine's Day. What do you think of Valentine's Day, starting with DC?
Normally, I would have liked it, but honestly, after this year, I thought I really just wish it was like one of the few holidays that does not exist. The others obviously being Christmas, but yeah, after like let's say the past few months, I say yeah, I really hate Valentine's Day. if that's the
Okay.
if that's like the nicest way of saying it, because if I was actually meant what I'm gonna say, it's not anything too nice. Let's just put it at that.
So before I ask the same question to Gray, I will ask you, because you said holiday. Do you really consider this a holiday? Because I mean, it's something couple do celebrate, but we don't
Guess
get
it
money
depends
out
what
of
you
it.
call a holiday. I mean, it's a special occasion for sure. It's on everyone's calendar.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's a fair point. Because I always had seen holidays as something like, even if you don't work, you're paid, or like if you do work, you're paid like time and a half, or time double, something like that. That's the way I've framed it before, but that's a fair point. That's good. That's a good definition. Like, it's on your calendar, it's a holiday, even if it's not a big one. So what do you think of that holiday, Gray?
Uh, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. If you're in a relationship and you're, feeling the romantical like feelings, it can be a magic time. But at the same time, if you're by yourself, it can be like one of the most miserable times ever. On
Yep.
top of that, it just seems super, super commercial and just like BS. Like as a kid, you're told, buy candy, buy these paper things, give them to all your friends, expect to get a bunch of them. I don't know. And then as you get older, like you're still expected to buy all these like cheap tchotchkes that are going to be thrown away or whatever, some stuffed animals with a red heart or something on them. Um, I don't know, man. It can be magical if you're like truly in the mood to celebrate, if you will. Like it's kind of nice that we have kind of a day dedicated to romance in a way, a very commercialized way of it. But I don't know. I think I could do without it. Just celebrate that in my own way.
Yep.
And it's interesting because like people buy all of these flowers and stuff, and the intent is good when you do it, but it's flowers, they will die off after a week. So it's like, is it like, I know it's the intent, but it don't you think like your time should be more worthy and better than a
Well,
flower?
what if you see the relationship as, having an expiration date? It seems like it's a perfect metaphor. I don't know. You could always go with like a living bush or a flower, citrus tree. I don't know.
But yeah, the way I see it and I feel it is, I do like the idea of celebrating couples and stuff, but I feel like if you need this to celebrate your couple, like, isn't there something missing? It's really hard to express myself on that, but I feel like every day you should put effort into the relationship. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, definitely if this is the only time you get and like you need this, yeah, it seems like there's probably something missing in that relationship. But if it's
Yep.
just an extra day to celebrate like romance or whatever, I don't know. It could be harmless and fun, but
So what I mean by there is not like buy gifts every day. No, no. What I mean by there is like, don't expect a specific day. Like, when you can give, and give what you can give. Don't go overboard. Like, just be a good partner, I think. And you don't need a specific day to be one. But again, that's my point of view. Maybe I'm wrong.
that would be awesome. I don't know. I know, people like getting kind of gifts or whatever, and it is a day that you could actually celebrate your relationship if you don't have like an anniversary or whatever. I don't know. Like it could be a good thing. Have you heard of what Japan does? They've got this thing called White Day. Are you familiar with that at all?
No.
That.
So I don't know like everything about it, but I believe it's a month before Valentine's Day or it's a month after Valentine's Day. But anyway, Valentine's Day is kind of expected like the men give all the gifts or whatever, but White Day is women give the gifts to men. So it's kind of fun. It kind of seems like reciprocal in a way, but I don't know. I guess that's just two chances to be lonely if you're lonely, I guess.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So at least there they think of men on a positive way. You want to give gifts to men, so that
So I
means
think it's traditionally you're supposed to get 4 times the amount in a gift for the woman, though, as you get. I think White Day comes first, if I remember the way that it was explained to me. But it's still you get something out of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. But again, that goes back to, I think you should always do your best. It doesn't matter which day. Offer what you can offer, but if you can't, that's sad. But try your best. That's how I see it. And I feel like you don't really need a specific day to be gentle and to offer of your time. And I also think that giving your time is much more valuable than gifts. It's cool having gifts, but having the person with you, spending time with you, is even better. But again, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm too human and I'm not materialistic enough.
You're too human, indeed.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm wondering if any of you would like to add more to that uh, holiday, or if we can move on to the question of this week.
We can move on to the questions.
What about you, Gray?
Yeah, I'm thinking we can move on. I think I said everything that I want to say about it. So Multi, are you in favor of it? Do you think it should exist? Valentine's Day?
Yes and no. Yes, because I think it's important to celebrate, and no, because I feel like a lot of people they don't care 364 days a year, and that one day they care. So it depends with what kind of partner you are with, because I'm not saying that everyone is like that, but if if you're with someone that wait for a specific day or date to give their time or give a gift, then you got the short end of the stick. Is that the right way to place it?
Yeah. No, I think that's well said. And yeah, that phrase is definitely correct.
Perfect. For once, I got something right. But
Hey, give yourself credit. It's not just the once. There's been like 3 or 4. Definitely not your Godfather 2, Jake.
I will be always remember that someone with the bad takes. Anyhow, Dave, what do you think it's a good thing?
Yeah. Again, I think it's like I'm pretty much reiterating what you're saying. Like, it would suck if if you need the day and that this is the only time you'd get that like sense of romance, that specialness put on the relationship. But then at the same time, if that's the only day that you actually like get that, I don't know. I wouldn't want to take that away from you. I just I don't like how commercial it is essentially. So I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I don't see any problem with celebrating romance. So it's kind of fun.
All right.
I agree with that. That's amazing, but again, that goes back to my more romantic side where I don't feel like I need a day. Like
Yeah.
a random
Can't
day in
help
the
it.
week.
You're romantic.
A random day in the week, I will just bring her something. Like, doesn't matter. Like, oh, it's March, April, June. I don't give a crap. Oh, it's your birthday. Maybe I will forget you on your birthday, but you will get something eventually.
Maybe romantic isn't the right word. There's probably a word for it.
I'm gentle. I try.
Sure, he's gentle.
Anyhow, so let's bring the 5 question. Yes, 5. You hear me right. So number 1,
What?
starting with
An
Gray.
extra question for the finale?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was
Just wow.
inspired, and we are creating the show, right? We are setting up the ground for season 2 right now. So, question number 1, starting with Gray. What were your favorite and least favorite episode? Expand on why.
Hmm. All right. So there's two of them that I don't seem to have on here. Oh, I think I wasn't in episode 7. What was episode 1? For some reason, I didn't save that to like either of the playlists. Do you remember what the first episode was?
The first episode was the intro, so we basically got
Oh,
over
okay.
the 4 pillar of the show that we eventually all
Oh,
covered. I do think we
fair enough.
covered each single pillar so far. There are pillars we didn't cover it as much as others. I think most of the streams we did
I
were
forgot
about
about the
fighting.
pillars. With
Yeah,
it being like 20 weeks ago or something like that, 19 weeks ago. I think that was the first one that I didn't stream to my channel, so I don't have it in my playlist. For
yeah,
some reason, I didn't save that. I should have. But I think my favorite one was actually Burnout. I don't know. I feel like we got pretty personal in that. I feel like it was a chance that I really got to know you guys, and I think you guys had some really good things to say about Burnout. And if I remember right, maybe we had somebody else on that.
yeah.
But
We had Advanced Warrior. He joined us. He is from the
that's
Advanced
right.
Warriors community, and he is great, great guy.
Yes, I thought
We
that
met
dude was awesome too.
we mention him, so any viewer that is curious, there's his link, I believe, in the description below, or maybe somewhere on my channel. This is a sure thing. Like everyone we did more than one collab with are on my channel listed as like people I work with or people I do YouTube with. So
Oh yeah,
people can just drop
but
by
yeah,
and
I thought
go take a
he
look.
was an awesome guest. I totally forgot who was on that episode, but yeah, I do remember that now. Yeah, I thought that dude was awesome. So I don't know. I think that was my favorite one. It just kind of resonates with me. I still kind of think about that. Probably my least favorite one was. Now I'm trying to find the exact title, but pretty much anytime we kind of went over dating, I'm trying to remember the specific one. I just remember we were kind of talking about dating apps. It wasn't specifically the dating app episode because we're still going to do that. But I don't know. I just don't feel like I have a lot to contribute to that. Just I have very limited experience with that. I think like I did plenty of fish on it when it was website based, like not on your phone or anything like that. I haven't done any of the apps. I'm really, I don't know. I just basically met, everyone in real life. So I just don't feel like I have much to add to that, is why I feel like it's my least favorite one, but I can't remember exactly which one it was. I think it was a reaction video that we were going off of,
Yeah.
but I don't remember which concept it was with when we were specifically going into that. That's why I was a little reticent about a future episode that we're going to have, but no big
Th-
deal. I will
this
brush
this
up on it, but it's going to be an outsider's perspective.
This one, we actually remove it since you're not that hype with the topic, so that won't happen. We will find something else for sure.
Hmm.
But
I don't mind. I just don't feel like I have a ton to add to it, is all.
yeah, but maybe
But
you
yeah.
refer to Passport Bros, but again, it's not really
I
necessarily
don't think it
dating.
was
It's
that one. I swear it's one of our videos about stuff that it was kind of a reaction to, but I can't remember which one it was on since we just titled it video about stuff. But I think that was what it specifically was something about dating apps in there. Just like, yeah, I don't know. I can guess I can get her point of view, but I don't know if that's incorrect. Anyway, I just didn't feel like I had a lot to add to that one.
maybe, just maybe. I'm not quite sure about that one, but just maybe it's the one where we had someone from your chat coming on. Was that the one, or you like that one?
I don't. Maybe it was. Maybe Miss Sparkles was on that one. Either way, I enjoyed when Sparkles joined. I think that she had a ton to add to what we were talking about, but I just don't feel like I had a ton to add into it. I should have looked at which video it was, but I don't know. I've enjoyed all the topics and the questions. Just I felt like I didn't have a ton to add to a couple of the videos, but maybe I'm wrong.
We had one about open relationships. Was it the one?
No, that was the one about Destiny. I definitely remember that one. I didn't mind talking about that. I felt like I had a lot to add to that, but
I'm investigating,
Yeah.
because I'm really curious.
Well,
like because this helps me build what happens next. And again, since season 2 is coming, I'm very open to guys suggesting stuff. Again, I'm always open to it. I take charge because I feel like if I don't, we don't have anything. So that's
For
why I
sure.
take
And
charge
I'm not
so
faulting it at
much.
all, man. Hey, you asked the question. I'm trying to answer honestly. I don't want you to change anything. Uh, DC, what was your favorite and least favorite episode?
Is it mine or your turn, multi?
Yeah, sorry. I was
That's
trying to
DC.
transition to you to
Yeah.
ask you which one your favorite and least favorite were.
Yeah, DC, you are next.
All right. I think my favorite were Grace probably gonna hate me. I think it's the ones when we cover relationship stuff because I can just go all out and go. But I think my personal favorite was the depression one.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And I don't hate you. Just to be clear, don't hate you.
Yeah. But a majority of the ones were the relationship ones because I could just learn experiences and share my experience as well. Expose the bad people in my area to the whole world. Which they do deserve to get exposed, by the way, and all that. So I can definitely say either the depression or the relationships one. So yeah. As for my least favorite, I think it's probably the times we cover anything that wasn't really like specific. Like I think I remember a few times we covered ones about like race. Believe we covered one about race if I'm not mistaken or something.
Diversity and representation in media.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've also covered. Try and remember. I think we cover another thing is whenever we do the videos, they're always more relationship stuff. So that's another part I kind of wasn't the biggest fan is because, we are supposed to cover a topic, but yet we had to watch a video, 2 hour long video that's all about relationship stuff and has nothing to do. That's one part I wasn't the biggest fan of, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you want to add more to this?
No. I'll let you go on, multi.
So before I answer the question myself, so I will add this. I'm sorry. I suck at finding right videos for the topics. I'm really bad at that. So that's why I'm telling you guys. Feel free to share.
No,
And
man, you don't
It's
suck
fine.
at it, but
It's
keep
I'm
in
trying
mind,
to
like
keep
we're gonna
going.
come up with an answer if you ask us like what our least favorite one is. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. We're
that's
not
why.
trying to tell you to change it.
Yeah. That's I get it. I sound on the defensive, but I will try to say why. But again, I will keep that in mind and what attract my attention, and I will try to add videos that are more related. But again, it's kind of hard because it's really easy to get lost on YouTube. That's the other thing. So yeah, I will look into it for future stuff. Um, so I got so many favorites. It's really hard to pick and choose. So I have more of a top three. Um, in place number 1 or 2, because 1 and 2 are really even, we got artificial intelligence. I really enjoyed that one. Do you guys remember that one?
Yeah, I also liked that one. I thought that was kind of a funner, interesting concept where we got to go off a little bit more.
And the interesting part is, for once, the video had something to do with what we were talking about. So that's like one of the reasons why it's tied with the next one I will mention. The next one I will mention was Evolving with Charles. And I liked having Charles on 2 times from since then. Great guest, and I liked that week. a lot. We tried something different because I didn't have any idea for questions, and we just had that surprised guess, and that was great. So I like that a lot. And now coming in third place, it's not as high as the other two, but I still like it a lot because it's a topic of like contention, if we can call it that way. It's a topic that a lot of people have opinion on, and I feel like us, we were nuance. I think maybe I'm biased because that's us, but that was diversity and representation in media. I liked having that discussion with the both of you, and I don't think we had guests that week, but I liked it. So these are my top three. Now I'm looking into the list for my worst three, and well, I don't really have worst three actually. I only have like I mixed between two, and I will explain why. We were only two, and it's not your fault. It's just that I enjoy having more people, and it's it's not necessarily the topic or the content. It's just the fact that we add a missing piece, and I feel like the both of you are as important as me for this show, and this is why I think these two I will mention are probably the weakest. So last week was one of the weakest because DC wasn't feeling that great, but again, it's just because the way I see our podcast, we are like a puzzle, and when there's someone missing, there's a missing piece. So even if your puzzle is looking great and sound great and is fun to play, there's a missing piece. And I still liked having that video on, and I enjoyed it. And I don't think we were more than two. Maybe we had someone else. I can't remember. Oh yeah, we had Cole. Right, we had Cole. So I enjoyed a lot having Cole. I was surprised he could make it. So actually, you know what? My least favorite is not last week. Actually, it's week 7, I believe, and that's the only week Dre has missed. And I like the video we covered. That was hilarious. I think DC liked it as well. We covered Sugar Tits video about
Oh, that sucks. I like sugar tits.
there's a lot of sugar tits in my playlist, and this is why Charles said cancer, cancer,
Yeah.
cancer.
Sorry to cut you off. I did actually find the one that I felt like I didn't have a lot to add. And it was actually the one that Charles was on, and it was the one that Charles picked. It was the men don't ask me out anymore. Woman is frustrated that men don't date anymore. I just felt like I didn't have a ton to add to that because it's like, yeah, fair enough. It's modern dating. I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience on the apps or whatever.
But again, I feel like we had a solid season. I'm proud of what we did. That was amazing. I like it so much. Red Blue is still my favorite because media is just very fun to cover. But this podcast we are doing here, I feel like the one or two people that watch it, maybe they find it interesting and they learn about us and themselves, maybe. So
Yeah.
that's the point of it. So yeah, even my least favorite are solid ones. And again, it's more like, oh, there's a missing piece in the puzzle. And yeah, that's how I feel, man. So uh anything to add to all I said before we move on to question number 2?
No, I think that covers it. I think we all pretty well explained our choices.
Perfect. So, question number 2. What was your favorite and least favorite topic we covered? So, this one is very similar to what I just asked. The nuance is really topic. So, maybe that could help. I will bring the topics. Week 1 was the intro, so there was no specific topic. week 2 was burnout. Week
I
3
think
was
that one was my favorite topic, but I think it was kind of that and depression. I think those both, it felt like we kind of got personal in there, and I think we all had a lot to add to it. So I think that's kind of the way that I liked it. I
Yep.
think those were my favorite too.
okay. What about you, DC?
Yeah, I think either burnout or depression. Burnout was probably my favorite topic, but yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to me, my favorite one was body positivity. That was something that was very fun to talk about.
Yeah, that was
As
kind of a
someone,
fun episode too. I remember we kind of watched a kind of a comedy video on that too that I brought in. That one was kind of
yeah,
fun.
yeah, and the reason why I enjoyed that topic so much is because I'm doing a diet, and I'm someone that is nuanced about it. Again, I'm someone that thinks we are taking decisions. We have free will, and if you want to be in shape, you must do what you need to do to be in shape. So when I hear some people that are like, "Oh, I'm like that because genetics," maybe, but I'm sure you can work something around. I think it's always possible. Now, of course, there are unknown illness I don't know about, but even there, I'm sure, like, we have medicine. It's we are in 2024, and there's a lot of things we can do and change. So yeah, it's just sad because when I look back and I think of some people that are not necessarily healthy because people en- enforce or people tells them, oh, everyone must accept you the way you are. Yes and no. They can accept you, that's a sure thing, but you should be able to realize it's not healthy. So again, I won't rehash too much of it, but I think body positivity is something very important because I feel like I don't have research before my eyes, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone can fact check me, but I believe there's much more overweight people today than there was before.
Yep,
Uh,
that's definitely true.
Yeah, I think it depends on the classification between obese and overweight, but yeah, it is the highest it's ever been.
and like sometimes you can be overweight but not necessarily obese, but like you're still not really necessarily healthy. That's the other nuance. And like I will add, lastly I will add something else. Like someone I used to work with was uh a special guy, but he was a bit overweight, and and I did mention it and he was in denial, and I just wanted to help. I didn't want to shame him or insult him. I just told him, "Look, I'm doing that diet. Maybe you should try something similar. I always see you eating like fast food and stuff, and I just wanted to help, you know." And he was in denial. He was like, "Oh, I'm healthy. You are overweight." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's why I lost weight. That's why I'm doing a diet. I'm just trying to help, you know." But I think society has made people very sensitive to a lot of things and on the defensive. So anyhow, that's that's enough for that very small tangent there. So now what would be your least favorite topic we covered? Again, this is not stream, this is really topic.
Hmm.
Starting with DC.
Hmm. That's a that's a tough one because hmm. Okay, this might sound shocked, but I would actually say the my least favorite topics were actually the ones when we ever cover the red pillars. Um
Oh, really? Why?
yeah.
I'm curious. That's interesting.
Um
Why?
the reason why is because the fact that we kind of already know that they're already bad. Nothing against you, obviously, but it's the fact that that it's kind of like how do I say it without sounding? Hmm. I'm guessing it's just how they were constantly being representative. I guess. I guess that's kind of the thing. Um, but yeah.
That's interesting. Um, I like your response. Well, even if I disagree, I like it because that surprised me, and I like surprises. What about you, Gray? What would be your least favorite topic we covered this season?
I think the other one. So I think the video was why I thought that the dating one, not dating, but it was pretty much about dating apps. That video. But I think that kind of brought that episode down for me. But I think the actual topic that was probably the least favorite of mine was probably parenting. I don't know if it's my place to tell somebody how they should parent. I definitely have opinions, but I don't have kids, so I don't know. I just feel hypocritical about that. So I don't know. I have pets and I wouldn't want to equate that to it, but I definitely see people who treat their pets wrong, and I feel like they should be, disciplining their pets in a different way. But I don't jump in to tell them, you're doing this all wrong. Here's how you need to, and I'd feel even worse doing that to a parent. So I don't know. I just feel like I didn't have a ton to contribute to that, and there is no like real life experience. I'm an uncle, but that doesn't mean much. You got to just be the fun guy who's around every once in a while, not like actually dealing with like the highs, the lows, all that stuff. So I don't know. I feel like that's the one that I truly had the least to contribute to. So I think that might have been my least favorite.
I like your point. That's very cool. Now I'm looking at the playlist, man. I I don't know which one is my least favorite. Maybe I will copy you because, well, actually no, because I do have like not necessarily a parent, but I know a lot in my close family, and sometimes I'm more in a parent role when it comes to like my half brother because he's younger than me, and sometimes I need to babysit him. But it's not the exact same thing as a parent. But the other thing is I did study 2 years in special care counseling, so like there are patterns and stuff I see that I'm like, yeah, that's not really the right way because the books told me it's the other way or stuff like that. So maybe not this one, but one of the decays. I will be honest, I don't know which decay I like the least. Um, maybe that would be um the decay of society, I guess, because that was really hard for me to find questions for that one, and I felt like in January we were really dark, a bit too dark, and I thought it sounded better on
Hey man, I
paper.
was Mr. Sunshine there. Like I kept telling you, it is not all over. This is the best time we've ever lived. All of these things are so much better than they've ever been. I
Yeah.
was a ray of sunshine, sir.
Yeah, and that's why it's amazing having you on. You were the
Yeah.
ray of sunshine, and like DC and I, we were very grim and dark about it. But
Yeah.
you're
Plus,
right on that.
yeah. Plus, dark is amazing, so it's far better than light.
I
I
think the
don't think so.
combination, gray is best.
I actually agree with that, Gray. Everything is about balance, and I do agree on that. So January was kind of rough, and I think for me it's like more of a external thing than the podcast itself. The podcast did help a lot, but like January, I was in a transition period where I was in between jobs. I'm still kind of on that spot, but now I'm in a better spot because next week I start. I won't say my dream job, but almost a dream job. So that's why I'm on a better place now. But January was rough, and these podcasts really help. And yeah, I think decay of society is probably my least favorite topic we covered. And I will thank you a lot, Gray, because you were always that opposition to DC and I, and this was amazing. And again, this is why I like so
I
much
disagree. I'm
Charles.
not always in opposition.
um, that's also why I liked so much having Charles on, because it was like that kind of breath of fresh air, and he has very interesting insights, and I liked talking to him. Like, it changed my mind, man. Um, so anyhow, um, now the next topic, the next question, I should say. So the next question is there a topic you'd like to cover again in season 2, starting with Gray?
Yeah, I think we touched kind of on mental health. I think in like episode 2 or 3. I guess it would have been like 3 or something like that.
2
Uh,
and 7, I think.
I don't know. Maybe something in that realm. I think would be good. I think those led to pretty good conversations, and yeah, I feel like I got to know you guys a little bit better in those.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add? Because now we are like brainstorming for season 2.
I liked those a lot. I feel like there were some other fun concepts, but I don't know. I'll pass the mic and kind of look over the playlist and see if any other thoughts kind of come to mind.
All
Okay,
right.
and if before I let DC talk on that one, if that can help, I also have a playlist that has everything, even the unlisted one. I still like have them on one playlist, so that's very easy. If you struggle, they are all under the same roof in order. On top of that, DC, um, what's your response to this question?
Hmm. I'd say I agree with Gray. Sorry for the echo chamber. And it's just I think one of the reasons why is because I think mental health is pretty important, and it could definitely lead to some of the stuff. Um, like the depression, burnout, all that. I think those are like probably the topics I would like to cover again, because the fact that we don't know the people who view our viewers, and maybe our stories, our experiences can help them out. But yeah, I'd say really any mental health one, because the fact that plus it is as scary as disturbing as it is to learn about this stuff, it overall is pretty important. And us, we like to disturb ourselves half the time, so I decided, let's get more traumatized with life. But yeah.
Good thing, good thing. Do you want to add more to this? Is there
uh
any other topic you'd like to cover?
mm, I think that's about it.
Okay. Well, on my end, we will. I thought that was very interesting. The artificial intelligence topic we covered. So maybe we will have a part 2 eventually, because I do think it's very fun to talk about that, because it's like the future. It's like it's coming to us really fast, faster than you may think.
Yep.
Um, the other thing would be I look at the playlist, and I think that's really like the one that has the most potential. Um, but maybe culture war, maybe a part 2 eventually, if we get a left leaning person on the panel. That could be juicy and interesting. So these are like the 2 topic I'd like to see coming back. Um, so yeah. Um, with that being said, do you want to add something else, Dre, after you watch the playlist?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of kind of fun ones, kind of like AI, or I did like the masculinity, femininity thing, and I did like, there are a couple of them that we kind of got to take in like different ways. I guess artificial intelligence, like you were mentioning. I don't know. I kind of like it if there's like a topic, and then we kind of each kind of approach it our own different ways. Like even evolving. I kind of didn't expect exactly what you guys were coming in with this with. And the masculinity and femininity, I really liked that. I also didn't kind of expect your guys' definitions, and I think Charles came in that one too. So that was really
Yeah.
fun to get a different opinion even on that. So I don't know. I guess I kind of liked those, just kind of understanding your guys's, a window into your guys's minds, if you will. Yeah, I think I liked those kind of ideas. I think I've got a few of them that might be kind of simple subjects, kind of like that, that we might be able to use next season. I'll let you know a little after this. I might have a short list that I can send over.
Hell yeah! I was waiting for that, like since we started. That's amazing, Dre. We will map that out right after the stream. I'm so excited, man.
I bet the topics will be just about how Multi has bad takes.
No.
Yeah, I
But
want an entire episode on Godfather Part 3. You know, just why we have our takes on it.
and I will
No. They're going to be fun
also,
topics that I'd like to get your guys' opinions on. So I hope it'll kind of fit with, you know, our previous ones that were fun to do.
hell yeah. And I will tease something. Male loneliness. Because it's mental health. And because we hear about so many people talking about it, but not really giving solution. They're more complaining and crying and whining. But I feel like I feel like we can bring answers. We can bring something others don't really bother trying because they are on that circle where they need these lonely men. So that's just a teaser. What do you think of that teaser, DC?
I think I know what this topic is, which I won't say, but I have a really good idea, and because I'm currently probably going through it right now, I think I have the best guess out of the three of us. But what about you, Gray?
Yeah, I think it sounds good to me. I think we've definitely all experienced it. Well, all that identify as males. I'm assuming that's all of us. But yeah, I guess we've never. Well, I guess we did establish that in the masculinity, femininity thing. But so yeah, I mean, I think it would be really rare to have not experienced male loneliness. But you know, I think we could all have a lot to say and probably understand this from different angles.
Yeah. Because I have a feeling I know what it is.
Yeah, it's something our generation maybe less great because you're a bit older, but maybe actually, I think you may be on the limit to be my generation more than DC, but like I'm like the higher end of my generation, and I think DC is like the lower end. So maybe you're like,
oh, yeah, definitely, I agree.
yeah, I think DC and I are like really tight on that generation thing because I know what's his age. Well, I think I know what's his exact age. I won't give it too much because that's not my place to do it, but I think we are like really tight on that block, and I think my block maybe overlaps on Gray, so maybe your experience will be a
What
bit
are
different.
you guys? So I am in the millennial category. I'm towards the one end of it.
So
But
I'm
what are
also
you guys?
I think I'm also millennial. I think.
Okay, fair
But
enough. But I was wondering if DC was Gen Z, but I wasn't sure.
I mean, what's like the youngest one?
I have no clue. That's why I was like, oh, multi. I didn't think you were Gen Z, but fair enough, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am a millennial, so
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Not sure what that means.
I'm actually in the end of millennials. Yeah, I'm near the end of millennials. So actually, DC is less likely in the same gap as me. Actually, so yeah, you're on my half brother generation basically because he is much younger than me.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess this ends question number 3. So question number 4, uh, maybe not the entire list, but you can maybe tease some of the idea you may have.
All right.
So question number 4, I will start with Grave because I'm really curious. Question number 4, any idea for topics in season 2?
Yeah, there's been a idea that I've been kicking around for a while. I don't know if you've ever heard so it's Latin, it's kind of a Stoic, um, I don't know, saying or whatever, but premeditatio malorum. It's kind of an interesting concept. So essentially, it's kind of it's a Stoic exercise of imagining the worst thing that could go wrong. So I don't know. I was kicking around something about like imagining the worst or something around that idea. I haven't quite figured that one out, but I don't know. I think there's something to it, and I'd like to get your guys' kind of opinions on. I don't know. I guess maybe mind state or something like that. Like if you are always focusing on the worst thing that could happen, is that worse for you, or I don't know. So something along those lines, I think would be kind of fun to get your guys' opinions on. But I haven't quite figured out exactly the wording on that.
It's like what I mentioned in one of the past streams, halo effect, where you think something bad and then that something bad happens because you thought.
I think so, but I don't know. Would it not be kind of along like the Boy Scout motto of like, like prepare for the worst or something like that? Like always be prepared, that type of deal. So I don't know. Like that's why I'm wondering, because like I know you've mentioned like that halo effect thing. And it's like, and there's a bunch of like pro mental health exercises like cognitive behavioral therapy that kind of say that the mindset that you're in kind of determines your overall like mindset. Like you can't control what happens to you, but you can kind of control how you respond to it. So I don't know, would always thinking of the worst thing necessarily be a good thing for you? I don't know. I haven't quite figured that out, but I've got a couple ideas like that and kind of more abstract concepts like what would consistency mean to you, or something like gatekeeping. I don't know. But some ideas kind of like that.
I like it. I'm excited about your list. You'll give me that list after the stream. I'm so hyped, man. You made me the happiest multi-topic talk ever. So do you want to add more before I pass the mic to DC?
No, I think those are a couple of ideas.
That's amazing. What about you, DC? Any ideas on stuff we can talk about in season 2 starting next week?
Yeah, I thought a lot about it. I was thinking of covering more darker topics, like such as violence in media, because I think that's probably the one of the more important things that I want to talk about.
I didn't think of it, but it works so well with what we did with diversity and representation in media.
Yeah,
so,
because I think the violence is the most like the most dumbest things you can ever hear about. Because if something's too violent, it's ridiculous. But yeah, other topics I was thinking of, isolationism,
male loneliness, basically, but you got a different word. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, I was also thinking of empathy as well. Empathy, feeling passion for others who are probably struggling, the right ways and the wrong way of doing it. Because there is dark empathy in others, but yeah, I was also thinking of covering let's see. I was even thinking of covering like a bit psychopath episodes, but I wasn't sure if that was well with both of you guys. Like,
are you interested into that topic, Dre? Because if you are, that's a yes.
Yeah, sure. I'd be down with exploring that.
All right.
So because
So
it's more specific this time around, I will put the effort into researching a bit more the topic because I do know stuff, but not enough to carry a interesting discussion. So we will cover that eventually,
yeah.
but I will need to bring some research into it, and I invite the both of you to also do your own research, and we will put together stuff, and then we'll do the stream, and
Yeah.
that could be even a season 3 thing if we end up not necessarily having the time to do proper research to be on point with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
So that's kind of like the moral like ones I was thinking of doing. But yeah.
do you want to add more?
No, I'll let you multi go and choose your ideas.
So I have really bad memory. So I liked every idea you just brought. So note it somewhere. And when Gray gives me the list he has, give me yours. And we will make the planning and schedule. I can bet Gray has a lot of topics. I can bet you also have a lot of topics. So this will be interesting. We will alternate DC Gray me, DC Gray me, Gray DC me, Gray DC me, that kind of stuff. Um, that sounds amazing.
I
Um,
could probably send that to you on Discord, but I don't know.
yeah,
That's kind of my short list. I think it's only like 6 topics, 7 topics, but I don't know, just some ideas. And actually, I also had empathy on my list, so I'd be interested a lot to hear DC's thoughts on empathy, especially with the whole kind of dark empathy. So that
Yep.
sounds awesome. I think that
I
one's
like
definitely
it.
a must.
Yeah, so I will already copy paste that, but if you want to add more,
Hell yeah.
we will all send it to our Discord discussion, so it's all at the same place and it's easy to just find it, and we will build the planning around that.
Hell yeah.
So I just posted it right now. So yeah, we will keep talking about it uh, behind the scene after the stream. So when it comes to me, ideas. I already teased. Male loneliness. That's the top tease I want to share. Maybe a part two of something we already covered. And I will think it through because guys brought amazing ideas, and now I need to top these amazing ideas. Otherwise, why should I bring any? But I like it. Thank you a lot to the both of you. Um, so next up would be I will look into it. Um, Final question. Question 5. Is there a topic you don't want to cover again? Expand why.
Hmm.
Starting with DC.
Hmm. Is there a topic I don't want to cover again? Hmm. Probably. Hmm. Sorry, I'm struggling. It's very hard. Hmm.
Okay, so I'll let Gray go
Yeah,
first on that one
I
then.
was about to
I,
say like Ray.
I think the parenting would probably be the subject. And I think it's for the reasons I've kind of said. I don't feel like it's really my place to tell someone how to parent their kid. I've got strong opinions on how I would want to parent. Again, I know kids are not animals, but I've got strong opinions on, how I should kind of discipline my animals. I would hate it if somebody came up to me and told me, like, no, you can't, like, step on the leash to make your dog calm down when he's freaking out, like that's torture or something like that. I don't know. I feel like that's a completely different level than, telling somebody how to parent. So, the fact that I'm not a parent, I just I don't feel like it's necessarily my lane to talk about that. But I definitely have opinions on how I would want to do it. But yeah, I think parenting for that reason.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I just thought of mine. I thought I think it will be artificial intelligence because because normally when you think of society, a decaying society, I should say, really technology is not really one of the first things that comes to mind if I'm being generous because well yeah it's obviously it artificial can definitely happen. However, I really don't think it's like that big. Like when I think of a decaying society, I think of crime, treatment of others, drugs and all that stuff. Um, no, those kind of stuff. Not really much artificial intelligence. Plus, normally when I think of artificial intelligence, I just think of the Matrix or Terminator or Iron Man, those topics. But yeah, nothing against artificial intelligence as a topic. Just when it comes to this podcast, to this specific podcast, where it's more society based, I'm not really sure if artificial intelligence fits well more into it. But yeah, it's one topic. Rad, go on.
Oh, finish.
Oh,
I was about to talk, but go
yeah.
finish what you
All right.
wanted to say.
Yes, I just personally think artificial intelligence doesn't really work very well in this particular themed podcast. That's all I was gonna say. But yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So I will disappoint you, but since you brought this, we may end up covering it again, maybe season 3 or 4, because you brought this up, and maybe things will change since then. But I think it's a fascinating topic. That's why I'm like, maybe this will be brought back eventually. I'm sorry, bro. But I guess your feeling, man. That's interesting. So because you said that, there's no way we cover that in season 2. But maybe in the future the door is still opened for that one, at least.
Gray
Um,
is Gray is probably celebrating.
I
um,
don't know, man. I'm about to have a debate in a couple days on AI. Like, I think people are interested in it. So it's AI art specifically. And then I'm going to have a talk with a comedian about AI comedy. I don't know, man. It's becoming a thing. It's going to be more of a part of society. So, like Multi said, maybe far future, but I don't
yeah,
know.
maybe season
It's pissing a
5.
lot of people off.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's worth speaking about it, because everyone has an opinion about that. So I
And
get
please
that feeling.
don't think that like we can't talk about dating apps or anything like that. It would be awesome if we could have somebody else on who's a little bit more familiar with it as well, because I don't feel like I have much to add to it. Like I can do an opinion like, yeah, that seems way more convenient than, having to meet somebody in real life, but it's kind of hypothetical from my point of view.
Yeah, but yeah, I will think about that. Again, I get that point. I agree. But I don't want to bum you. I don't want you to come here and feel like it's a chore or a homework you don't want to do.
It's not a
Uh,
chore. It's not going to bum me out. I just feel like I don't have a lot to add. Is all I'm saying.
yeah, but that's why I ask you questions like that. That's why I'm curious to hear both of your opinion, even if I sound on the defensive. I'm just someone that's like that naturally on everything about, uh, even if you don't necessarily see it in the other podcast, but that's just how I am, I guess. So yeah, your opinion matter a lot. Guys are making this show. I'm not alone. That's why I ask such question. So when it comes to me, I'm looking at the list right now, and I will be honest, it's the hardest thing to think of which topic I don't want to talk about again. But if I really need to twist my own arm to answer my own question, I think I will mention Passport Bros, because this is a topic we talked about in length, and I feel like there's no point of going back at that one again, except if there are changes, except if eventually I do become one. But I think this is the most empty topic we had, and there's the topic that was the most covered, I think. And this is why we won't cover that again. Maybe we will in a far, far, far future when we are out of ideas and we covered everything and everyone. But I think this one was probably the weakest. And I will be honest, when I picked that one, I was very interesting to talk about it because D Lord didn't mention it, and because it's interesting to talk about it. But I was out of ideas as well. So that's a mixed feeling where there's stuff to say, and we did say stuff we needed to say about it, but it's not groundbreaking. It's not unique. It's not a heated debate or something. So yeah, this closes off the 5 question. I am looking forward to create more questions and cover more topics. With that being said, we will cover a video about stuff. Now, while guys are searching for the video in the playlist I shared, or no, rewind. I will ask DC, do you have a video you'd like to share?
No, unfortunately, I do not.
Great. Do you have a video you'd like to share?
No, I did not come prepared.
Okay, so I will go. I will be right back shortly. In the meantime, one of you can uh, entertain, and the other can search for a video in the playlist. There's only one thing I'd like to keep for next week, and that's one of Shu on Ed video where she talked about like I will spoil it already to make sure it's not the one guys are picking this week, but artificial intelligence girlfriend.
All right.
So this is the one guys cannot pick because this will be for next week or another week in the future. I don't know when exactly. But one of you search in the playlist, pick anything, and the other entertain. And I will, since I probably have the best computer right now because my new is brand new. I will be screen sharing. So just pick it and send the link so I can right away click on it and screen share. So I will be right back, guys. I trust the both of you.
All right.
He should not be trusting us. By any chance do you have the playlist? I'm looking for it, and it's taking me a minute to find it.
I think I think I think the playlist was let's see.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it through the Discord, and I feel like I'm missing it somewhere.
Oh, yeah, there it is. I found it. I'm gonna send you it.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I think that's the playlist. Yeah. Multa's probably gonna learn about this, but I actually bookmarked his playlist. It's just to cast more YouTubers for Marvel vs. DC. So in a way,
Hell yeah.
that's one good aspect. Even if I've not even cast anybody, but yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. One thing I would like to do next season is definitely get these sorted out before we start the actual show.
Yeah.
I feel like filling and grabbing at the same time is not necessarily the greatest, but
that's something we're gonna have to at least make contact with Multi. But yeah.
Huh. Interesting. There's some fun ones on here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the ones he was trying, but I really can't think of any. I don't know. It's probably because some of these, I feel like they're kind of the same thing.
Yeah. We definitely need to kind of. Ooh.
You found?
Okay. Maybe. Well, that one is kind of long. Let me look on for just a second. Yeah, I probably should be multitasking or doing one of the two tasks right, either talking or doing this, but I feel like I'm failing at both right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it kind of fits what Multi was talking about. What do you think? If you were to choose between hair, a barber being humiliated, or exercise being bad for you, is there one that you would choose?
I just arrived and I hear about the barber and and the other day I'm like, what
Hey,
is
it's your
going
playlist, sir.
That's
Do you have a
amazing.
preference? Would you
That's-
rather talk about a barber or exercise being bad?
I couldn't find
That's amazing.
I could not find the exercise being bad, but I found the barber gets humiliated. I was like,
I can bet one of the two is Brett Cooper, right?
I think so, yeah.
well,
My playlist is cancer, as Charles called it.
Hey, the other one's Sugar Tits. We talked about her a little bit earlier.
yeah.
And you said
Imagine-
you liked her, Grace. So I guess we can cover Sugar Tits.
All right.
Okay. Let me grab the barber one.
Hell yeah, I like this playlist. It's just the way you framed it and placed it that's hilarious. I'm telling you. I just arrived. I hear that. I'm like, what's going on here?
Okay.
This is
Put it in the private. It should be that one, but
this
I don't
is
know.
top tier entertainment.
Unless you have it.
It's the only place.
I think so.
This is the only place you can find this.
So we did a bad job of filling time, but yeah, I think we should definitely get the video sorted out before in the future. I'm not sure if it's as entertaining for the audience as it is for us to try and fill that time. But
To be honest,
yes.
sorry, audience members, but I bet that they really were not entertained at all. We're probably just like
that's probably my fault.
I mean, not always, but yeah. That sounded so wrong. Like I'm intentionally framing.
No, it sounded honest.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because it's not Brett Cooper. I was wrong, so it's Sugar Tits. And
this one is. The other one was Brett Cooper.
Oh.
Okay. But I gotta say, like, I only had seen like 3 or 4 videos. Maybe 5 actually, but it's been a long time I haven't watched her, but she is so entertaining. Like, it's peak entertainment. And when you were out, I believe that was like week 7 or 8, we covered the Sugar Tits video, DC and I, and that was hilarious.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Let's play that.
Right.
Oh, what? I just muted it for some reason.
All right, we're failing. Wow.
Oh, here we go. Oh, hi everyone. Welcome to another Sugar Tits video. Now, is it just me?
Hi.
Or does it seem like this woke consent crap is
Okay. Mom makes daughter grandparents ask for onion her. Doesn't care about their feeling of hurt if she says no. Well, I think it's fine, but yeah. So why is it a headline? So I think it's fine. I actually like that take. Moms makes daughter grandparents ask for consent before hugging her, and doesn't care about their feelings or hurt if she says no. Yeah, I actually agree 100%. So why is it a big thing?
I
DC.
I have no idea because, to be honest, doesn't really sound like the thing to be the most. But yeah, I don't get it. I don't get society nowadays when it comes to all this.
I think it's important. I think that's a way of like teaching consent the right way. Any take on that, Dre?
Yeah, I don't disagree with it.
Yeah, so let's see what she has to say on that. What's going on, computer?
It's just getting out of control. It's gone to a whole nother level. So everyone on the TikToker sphere has been talking about this woke hairdresser who, before she begins to start cutting their hair, asks the customer for consent to touch them, and then also proceeds to ask them their preferred pronouns. Oh my god.
Okay, asking for touching, I get it, but pronouns, I kind of get the respect, but why why would you need to ask their pronouns when you just do an haircut? I don't know. Uh, anything to add, DC or Gray?
Not for me.
No, I guess I'd like to see kind of where it's going, but no, not a ton to add yet.
It's a weird one because I agree with the ask consent to touch, but that pronouns, it's like, okay,
I mean, if they want to do that, there might be a certain clientele that likes it. So is it wrong? I don't know. But
I'm not saying
I don't think
it's
I'd want
wrong.
to go there and go through like 20 questions to get my hair cut, other than like, hey, what do you want?
I'm with you. That's why I'm like you're not there to bond or connect. You're just there to get an haircut. It's like why does it matter? I get respect, but the few times I did went and to get an haircut, I didn't add any deep discussion. Like they would wash my ears and cut it, and that's it. It's like thank you, have a good day, and then I leave. But again, it's been a long time I haven't went to get my ear cut because I do it on my own by myself because I just think it's more convenient. It's easier and faster and all, and it's not necessarily a great cut or whatever. But I don't care about my ears. That's the other thing. Like as long as it's short, I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm not that hard to please. So yeah, um, weird experience. I don't think I would go there.
God, this woman is an insufferable nutball. Woke Madness says hairdresser asks permission to touch customer's hair. They know why they're there, love. They booked the appointment. They came specifically to get their hair touched. Why the hell do you feel the need to ask them for consent? This is woke
For the ears, I do agree. It's kind of weird to ask. Oh, can I touch your ears? It's like you're there for that. But maybe too many buzzwords. I will say, like she says, woke too much. But I guess this is what the audience react to, right? Any thoughts on that, DC or Gray?
Not for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd kind of like to see where Sugar Tits is going with this because it seems a little weird, but I don't know. Like, I could understand having to ask, like when you go to fast food or whatever, if they require them to ask, like, do you want fries with that? I don't get upset that they're asking me a bunch of questions or whatever. I think it's kind of something like that. Like if they've decided, okay, our clientele prefers this type of treatment. They want to have like consent all the way. They want to be called all or be asked what their pronouns are and referred to thusly. I don't know. You'd probably end up getting like premium prices for that type of service. So is it wrong to do that? I don't know. I'm not sure what her intention behind doing that is. Maybe it's not for like the premium prices. Maybe it's truly her beliefs. Then who am I to say that she shouldn't do that? So I don't know. I'd kind of like to know where Sugar Tits is going with this. If I agree with her or not. It just seems a little meh.
Interesting. I like your response. I'm on board with this. I'm with you, man.
shit gone crazy. The hairdresser also asks what the client's pronouns are. Oh, God. And she would too. If you take a better look at her TikTok channel, almost everyone that's in the chair looks like they're, I'll get pissed at you if you don't use my correct pronouns kind of people.
Divorce your Republican husband. It's like why is politics so important to Americans? I don't get that. Great, DC, do you have any enlightening response?
I wish I did.
I'm hoping she explains it a little bit more, but I don't know. I guess I'm not sure. Do you have a response to that?
Well, divorce your husband if he's a Republican. It's more like the short. I'm wondering why is it a thing? The shirt is really sus. Like if it's a satire, I could get it, but if someone wears that and believes in that shirt, like sister, why? Or brother, why? That's
I
more
don't
like
know.
what I.
People like to put their opinions on display sometimes. It helps, show people at a glance what tribe you're in. But I don't know. I don't think it's to me to tell you you can't have, like literally like your team's logo or whatever on your shirt. I don't know. I wouldn't do it, but yeah, I think she can.
Do you?
Yep.
I will do me, but I just find that weird because here it's not really like that. We are not that into tribalism and such.
You must refer to me as rock self, as fairy bitch. Excuse me. No, excuse me. Please refer to me as dino cunt. So stupid. A viral video of a hairdresser asking permission to touch a customer's hair has been described as bizarre, with social media users slamming the woke interaction. J Palm Hairdressing shared the video, which features stylist Jordan Palmer asking her client if she can touch their hair. Palmer can firstly be seen asking her customer for permission before she asks what their pronouns are.
So I guess that kind of respond to what you asked earlier, Gray. It's actually the clientele they want. That's the customer. They kind of go there for that. So yeah, I guess that person is just smart in business. Any thoughts on that, Gray? Now that you have more intel on the business
Yeah.
itself.
I mean, it's hard to knock it. I mean, like it seems like there's a clientele, so I don't know. Seems like it might be working. I don't know.
Yeah, seems like it. Do you want to add something, DC?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Oh, fuck off. My pronouns are stop with all this woke bullshit and just cut my hair. The interaction has received backlash from users online, with some describing the conversation as exhausting. And let's take a look at some of these comments left on these videos. I actually can't believe these are real. I genuinely cannot tell if this is real or not. I cut hair. I've never asked if I could touch their hair. Like, why are you here then if I can't?
That is kind of
Exactly. They made
a
the
question, I guess. Is there implicit consent just because you've walked into like a barber shop? So I got to be honest, like I had one where I thought the lady was going to ask me, like what haircut do you want? Like I literally sat down in the chair, like she put the apron on over me. And then like literally she just instantly like just came up like lightning with the buzzer like down to like a 2 or something like that and just went straight down the center of my head like before I had a time to like say like, hey, I just wanted a little off the top or whatever. I don't know. In that particular instance, I would have liked a little bit more consent or questions before she just did that. She cut off my lovely locks. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was just a bad barber who just assumed what I wanted. But I don't know. I don't think it's horrible. Like, but is it implied that just because you walk through the doors, like, yes, they can touch your hair?
I think it is your hair specifically because this is why you're going there. And this is funny because we talked about barber and stuff. It's hilarious because I've seen a comment on Facebook from someone complaining and ranting, saying, "Oh, why are the clients coming to my salon? They don't wash their hair before." And I was like, "Wait, what? people are complaining about parts of what all the other places are doing. Like most of the places I went to get a haircut, they do wash your hairs. So I don't know, when someone complains about washing hairs in a salon like that, I'm like, is it really the right place for you if you don't like dirty hairs? I don't know. Any thoughts on that, Dre or DC? I guess not.
Yeah,
Silence.
I mean, it would be, horrible to have somebody with like gross, greasy, disgusting, like never washed hair, but I think it kind of comes with the territory. Like, somebody may be coming from like a day of work and it might be all sweaty and gross. Like, I don't know. I think it comes in the territory. It comes with the territory.
Yeah. So I guess we can play now.
Appointment to come see you. They want their freaking haircut. They've given you consent by making an appointment with you. It's like if someone goes to a rub and tug massage parlor and the masseuse comes over and says, okay, now before we start, I'm sorry, I don't know why I've made her sound like a Thai person.
Korean?
Okay, now before we start, I'd just like to get your consent before I put my hands all over your cock and balls and start milking you.
I hold a lot of tension in my upper thighs.
Do you consent to me tugging the balls? Do you consent to me putting your knob in my mouth and commencing tongue shiatsu? Great. And finally, do you consent to me shoving my thumb knuckle deep into your butthole? Yes, just shut the f up.
I
Oh my
would
God,
hope
yes,
there's
yes, just do
consent.
it.
But
agree.
I don't know.
I was
Like,
hoping.
okay, so I don't have any experience with a rub and tug massage or whatever she called it, but I have gotten a regular massage before. They do ask you like, okay, now I'm going to touch your lower back. Is that okay? It's like, yeah, sure. So I don't know. Like that is it's kind of weird. But it didn't feel like, oh my God, she just ruined this massage. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like the worst idea if that's your type of clientele, but perhaps I'm wrong. Maybe I'm looking at this kind of, I don't know, biased.
I'm with you, and on top of that, I will say that it's kind of weird that she compared these two together like that, because one is for heirs and the other is pleasure, I guess. And again, I'm just like you. I never had
guess
that. So I
her
don't
argument
know.
is just by walking in those doors, you've consented, and I don't know. Like, I think there's a reason why they say like, okay, now I'm gonna, like touch your lower back so that you don't assume that it's, something else that they're doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's a reason why, like, because I've gotten a few massages, nothing raunchy or anything like that, but I had a real issue with my shoulder, so I had them kind of focus on that. But then she's like, well, your back feels tight. Let me do that. Anyway, she wanted consent to like touch my lower back, which apparently was tight. And it's like, yeah, sure. No big deal. It really didn't take me out of it. It wasn't like, well, I was relaxed and then you asked me a question. And I don't know, like it didn't seem weird to me. So I don't know. I guess I've gone to a place here in the States called Sports Clips, and like one of their things is it's like a spa for dudes. So there's always like sports playing, and then they also give you a scalp massage. But I remember the lady asking like, okay, now is it okay if I give you a scalp massage there too? And it's like, that didn't seem weird. And that was like, God, a decade ago. But I definitely remember that. And then they give you kind of a neck massage too on your first time, so that you'll buy the premium packages going forward. But I don't know. Like I remember being asked consent, like, is it okay if I give you a scalp massage? Is it okay if I give you a neck massage? I don't know. It didn't seem that weird to me. I guess I don't agree just because you've walked in, it is implied consent. I guess that is where I differ with her.
I'm with you. Like, well, it depends where you walk into. I will add that caveat because I feel like in a air place, as long as it's my heirs, that's okay. But in other places, I'm with you, man. It's not really implied, and you need to be clear on what's going on. But I think that's my nuance, and I feel like it's a bit unfair to pit these two and to place these two in the same bag and box, because I feel like they are very different things. Maybe I'm crazy. What do you think of that, DC?
Mm, I don't think I will agree. That's only probably from my own experience because, like I said before, I did had people touch me inappropriately and all that crap. So, but yeah, I'm not sure if I would necessarily agree, but I can see where you guys are coming from.
I guess we have very different opinion from her. So I guess we can play now.
Butthole. Oh, thank you. Excellent. He self has achieved climax. And why the do you keep saying he self like I'm not here? You're a fucking psycho. Now get back to the cock and balls. He knows what he's there for. Now just shut the fuck up and start pulling on my cock.
Are you attempting to have a manual stimulation from me, sir?
Freaking consent to touch your hair at a hairdresser's. Absolutely bizarre. And it kind of brings this whole seedy element into it too, doesn't it? It's like, why are you asking me consent to touch my hair? I just came here for a haircut. What are you planning on doing to my head? Are you using some sort of jizz shampoo I'm not aware of? Why are you asking consent to touch my hair at a hairdresser's? This seems suspiciously sexual. So let's take a look at some of
You
these
know,
clips.
now that I
Yes,
think
sir.
about it, like it was more than just consent to give me a scalp massage. They also said like, okay, and it's going to be this special shampoo that has tea tree oil in it. Is that all right? It kind of tingles. So I don't know. Like even like her, jokes about this, like I've literally experienced that, and like I don't know, it didn't feel out of the ordinary to me. It's like, oh yeah, I don't care. Like I don't know if you've ever experienced that shit, but it's kind of like peppermint oil or whatever gets like rubbed on your head. It's kind of got that fun tingle effect. I liked it, and then got a fun scalp massage after that. But I think it would feel weird if I just sat down and all of a sudden she just like started massaging my scalp and putting that stuff in my hair. I don't know. I think it's okay. Like I don't think it's that out of the ordinary, and this might attract a certain clientele that will pay for that premium.
I actually get your point, and I actually agree with this 100% because I realize the person maybe not know that you may have allergies and such, and the person that basically ask all of these questions, they want to make sure they are giving a good service. So
Yeah.
I guess it's good when it comes to like shampoos and stuff because maybe there's some allergen or something. Is the allergen, or what's the word for something that creates
Yeah,
allergy?
I think we just say allergen, but yeah,
Okay.
but like allergic reaction from allergen or whatever. But yeah, you got it, man.
Perfect. That's the same thing as in French, but spelled other way, I guess.
If I touch it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And what are your pronouns?
They, them.
She, they. I'm glad we exchanged those.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, party! We've exchanged pronouns. Yay! Now we can begin cutting that you've consented. I'm so glad that I'm clear on your pronouns, even though I won't ever fucking use them because I'm talking directly to you. Retarded.
I'm glad that you came in today to give me the opportunity to talk about what it's like when we grow out our hair from a shaved head. Because that's what happened, right? You said that in your message.
Yeah.
What the hell? Okay, you've come to me today to give me the gracious opportunity to share our emotions about what it feels like to grow out our hair from shaved. Bitch, just shut the fuck up and cut my hair. Stop talking. It's a good thing hairdressers aren't paid by the hour. Jesus.
So
I actually admit this one is funny. Do you have something to say based on what she said since the pause?
I mean, I did go to this one like haircutting guy who was like super hippy dippy. Like he had like waterfalls everywhere, and like I don't know, the air was always thick with like whatever essential oils and stuff. But it was a fun environment. It was very relaxing. Like he had an amazing looking studio or whatever. I don't know. I knew I was kind of paying a premium for that entire environment. That might be what this type of person is looking for. Like, I don't know. I don't see an issue with that. Like, I know I could have gone to like the whatever Great Clips or one of those, like crappy strip mall haircut places gotten it a lot cheaper, and it probably would have been about the same. But I don't know. I think I chose to pay for that premium experience, and I think that's kind of what these guys are doing. I don't know if there's anything wrong with it, but I don't think I'd want to go there.
Neither would I.
You know what? I'm with the both of you on this. I would never go there. Too much talking. Just cut my damn hair. But I get what they are doing it and why they are doing it.
Do you have an end goal for how long you want your hair to be at all?
And go.
Yes, 2 feet by the end of the day.
Like I feel
Yeah.
like we speak of goal when it's like about improving health, but
Yeah, or doing some actual like achievements in life. A haircut, okay.
Don't hear me out. Or sorry, hear me out here. What if it's just a sensitive way of saying, like, clearly this isn't a hairstyle that you really want to stick with, right? So what's your goal? Is it just a nice way of saying, like, hey, we all know your hair is what do you want it to look like?
I mean, it could be that, but I mean, even even then, I believe that they asked you before you get in the chair and haircut starts. That's from my experience, but but I mean the haircutter never often like would ask me when I'm literally in the haircut about what I want it to look like. Occasionally the haircutter would need a refreshing memory, and yeah, that has happened, but the haircutter never would go like oh, what's your goal for your hair? It's like no. That's just from my experience. Did you have anything to say, Multi?
actually I'm taking a lot about that current video we are watching, and the girl that is the barber or whatever, that person is like really going very far and beyond. So I think her customer service is probably amazing, but it's not for me. And I feel like it's really did in purpose because it's TikTok. And I guess this is advertisement for that kind of service. So I think it's in purpose that this is like so big and blown out of proportion, if we can call it that way. It's the right word, Gray.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like you said, it's an advertisement, a promotion. But yeah, I guess she's probably glad it's going viral. It probably got her more eyes on it.
Yeah, so I think that the person in charge of that video there that Sugar Tits is showing is actually a good business person, and it's great. Uh, that's my insight on it. Very smart person. Not the kind of service I would seek for, but there's probably a really good market for that. And go. Can you just play video,
Well, let's
please?
start there.
I mean, eventually, I want my hair long enough to put it in Liberty spikes, but
Yes.
eventually.
How tall would a Liberty spike be on?
Liberty Spikes? Is it like your statue in New York or something? Liberty Spike.
Yeah, that's what it's based off of. But basically, you just do spikes everywhere. So kind of like a mohawk, but more choppy, and then everywhere. They're fun. I had them when I was a kid.
My. Okay, that's interesting. Do you? I'll do me, I guess. It's okay. Okay, let's play it. I'm surprised someone would like to have that kind of airs. At least you're flashy and you're unique. That's one thing.
on you. What would be your
The dream spike would be like here.
Oh my goodness.
But I also haven't had long hair in a good while. Well, I had long hair recently, and then I kept.
I will admit, this looks so fake. I can bet in her head it's like, oh yeah, that looks terrible and ugly, but I will just smile for the camera. Any thoughts on that, Gray or DC?
Yeah, it could just be that she's awkward in front of a camera and she knows it's recording. But yeah, fair enough. It does not seem authentic to me, but I don't want to mind read on why.
I mean, as someone who's been around a lot of crazies, I should say, judging from how I can look, because I still have some of the worst eyesight in the world, I can definitely see something off with her smile. That's just from how I can see it. But yeah, there is something off. And by off, I mean that. No, go on.
Sorry. Okay.
No, you can play.
I'm shorter.
All right, well, I want to get you there.
Awesome.
And
What are your hair's pronouns? What should I refer to your hair as? I don't want to insult your hair. This is so stupid. Let's look at another one.
if I touch you.
Go right ahead.
Is it okay if I touch you? Is it okay if I touch you? Go ahead. You're creeping me out.
And what are your pronouns?
He, him.
She, her. Thank you for asking earlier.
And what are
Did he ask? I didn't hear him
Earlier,
asking.
she
No,
clarified that, oh shit, he didn't say that on screen. Let me, earlier, I don't know. It felt like it was thrown in after.
I did not even hear earlier or any of that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
your pronouns? Big burly fucking dude who's running out of patience.
Yes, I see it.
The face of the guy. The face of the guy. He's like, why did I go there? Is she serious? Is it a true thing?
I don't know. It might be a free haircut for appearing in her video.
Maybe. What are your pronouns, by the way? Okay, pronoun.
What are your pronouns, by the way?
Oh, they, them.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you for asking.
Yes. She, her. Okay.
Okay,
Is
awesome.
it okay if I touch you?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Oh, I can't even watch any more of this. It's making me feel sick. This is a business. You know why they're there. You don't need to ask consent.
So because it's a business, don't that person knows it brings money? That's why they do that. So I feel like the way Sugar Tits place it is she doesn't think there's a market, or if she does, she pretends there's none. So yeah, that's how I feel toward that video. I feel like they purposely only frame it on one way. What do you think of that, DC or Gray?
I do agree with you, Multi. Judging from how the video's been filmed, I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say that the original video has, like, you know, a point of view, but yeah, she's definitely not saying, like, well, what could the reasons be? Fair enough.
It lacks nuance. I will say it lacks
I think
nuance a lot. And it's really like to poke fun at pronouns and woke stuff. And I think that may be one of the weaknesses of that video. And this was it had funny moments, but as someone that has seen probably 4 or 5 videos from Sugar Tits, this is probably one of the weakest for me, because so far I laughed maybe 2 or 3 times, but there are others I've seen from her that made me laugh from start to finish. So yeah, I think it's one of the weaker installment I've seen. Any thoughts on that, Gray or DC?
I think you might be right. I think this might be the weakest one that I've seen so far. I usually like her content, but I'm not really digging this one. I think it's the nuance, like you said.
Yeah.
I don't remember how many of these Sugar Tits videos I've seen, so I really can't comment.
Okay, I guess we can play.
Sent This is so stupid. Okay, and maybe the pronouns thing is relevant because it looks like your clientele base is made up of a bunch of queer, fairy-looking, elf pansexual motherfuckers or something. So you never know what kind of species you're dealing with. But come on. Ugh.
I get the attempt at humor, but I feel like it doesn't really land because it's kind of very ferocious or very aggressive toward that demographic. Maybe I read to read true. Maybe I read too much true. Any thoughts on that, Dre or DC?
I don't. I think I need more time to think, or need to watch more.
Dre, what?
I'm sorry, I kind of got sidetracked saying the French word for search. I just think that's a cool word there. But yeah, no, I don't think you're off on that or anything like that. But
it's a bit sad because we are in 2024. We should be more open minded on how people like to be treated as or to be served. I think that's the better word. So yeah, I guess I will play. Can you just play video?
it does this to like everyone for some reason.
Yeah. I'm having
There we
trouble
go.
watching this. So anyway, somehow these videos have gone viral on TikTok and people have been taking the piss out of them. Let's take a look.
Okay, is it okay if I touch you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is it okay if I touch you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Before we get started, is it okay if I touch you? Are you fucking serious? Is it okay if I touch you? What?
Is it cool if I touch you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Is it okay if I touch you? Just cut my fucking hair. So is it okay if I?
Oh yeah, I admit this part is probably the best part of the video, and it's sad because it's not coming from Sugar Tits; it's coming from the clients.
Yeah.
So it's sad. It's really sad. The highlight of the video is like from used content. Any thoughts on that, Dre?
Yeah, I agree. But you know, there's people that want that, so hell, go get it.
Yeah.
I touch you? How else are you gonna fucking cut my hair?
What are your pronouns?
They, them.
She, they. I'm glad we exchanged those.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Thank
cool.
you for asking.
Yes.
And what are your pronouns? Cut hair.
And what were your pronouns?
Cut air. This is my pronoun. Cut air.
This is how smart the people I've met are. They're like that level of intelligence.
Cut air. Cut air needs a damn YouTube channel. I hope Cut air has one.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm more shocked that a hair cutter, someone who's probably known a lot of men or women or non-binary or trans throughout his or her life, is asking pronouns as if he was not familiar. I want to know how long he was doing that. If he was doing it like this, like his first few times, a little more understandable. But if he's been doing this for like a few years, then I'm like, around your second year, you should at least be more aware of what pronouns to use. Especially when he's like, touch. Are you okay if I touch your hair? Okay, unless that person had a really, it gets sensitive over people touching them, that's fine. Trying to make, like, you don't want to make your customers feel less safe and more protected, but it's like, this is ridiculous. And it seems like nobody went through anything crazy like how, let's say, I went through. So it's like, yeah, I don't. Jesus.
Yeah. Do you want to add something, Dre?
No, I think you guys said it all.
Cut air as the best cameo in this video. I will always remember Cut air. Cut air is entertaining.
They too.
Yay!
No, it's just like regular. I gotta ask everybody what their pronouns.
Forget it, dude. I'm leaving.
Yeah. And what are your pronouns? Zizek. Mine are.
Zizek.
What are your pronouns? Zizon. And mine are he. Oh.
Sorry, can I touch you?
How else are you gonna fucking cut my hair, bud?
What's your pronouns?
Leopard cat. Meow.
What? What? Oh, what?
The other question I'm asking is, why is this guy in a place to cut his hair?
I'm
none.
assuming he already got it cut and then this was filmed afterwards, but maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Multi's arch enemy, his computer.
Well, before we start, I know you already got an appointment for a haircut, drove all the way to this hair salon. Now you're sitting in the chair, which his entire purpose is for me to touch and cut your hair. But, you know, who knows? Do I have your permission to touch you?
No.
So what are your No? Okay.
All right, guys, 2024. And we're going to have to start respecting people's boundaries a little bit more inside here. Being more inclusive and being more understanding of people's pronouns. So I'm going to show you a video, and this is what we're going to do from now on when we're greeting the customer.
Okay, if I touch you.
Go right ahead.
And what are your pronouns?
He, him.
She, her. Thank you for asking earlier.
Why is that clip played again? Any ideas?
He's now giving training to his staff. This is how they have to do it from now on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Okay, so
That's not gonna work at all, Steve.
That's not what
That
I
will
would
not
say.
work like. He, him.
she, her.
And what are your pronouns? Are you fucking serious, bro? Just cut my hair.
What are your pronouns?
They, them.
She, they. I'm glad we exchanged those.
Yes.
And what are your pronouns?
Listen, bro, I don't do that shit.
Bro, don't fucking touch me. Don't. I'm out of here.
What is it?
I'm out of here.
All of them had nice looking hair
What
at the
is
time they got up out of the chair. So I don't know. I'm guessing these were skits filmed afterwards, but good on them for actually doing it in a barber chair.
I admit it. This part, the last like 2-ish minute, is the best part. It's funny. But that goes back to what I said. It's sad that Sugar Tits wasn't as funny as usual, and the videos she showed were funnier. But again, thanks for the research, Sugar Tits.
Bro, don't touch me. F off. That's exactly what I'd be like. So anyway, yeah, just a short one today. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to check me out on Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey, and...
Okay. This was it for Woke Barber Gets Humiliated and Ridiculed Online. Well, if it's framed that way, it's because it was framed that way. Because I can bet if she showed enough footage, we could see that there are people into it, and there are people that were not really poking fun at that kind of behavior. So, yeah. Final verdict on that video, Daisy.
Can you repeat that because I completely zoned out?
Final verdict on the video. What did you think of it?
Yeah, very interesting video. That's all I'm gonna say because the clips that they were showing that hair cutter is like you expect, he said some bad and one of the customers, got him back, or a huge fight broke out, like things of that nature. But it's like when they were showing it, it was like the cutter was like, what? And like I said before, that's like how smart the people in my area are. They're like that barber. They're not that smart to a point where you're almost like a genius in comparison. Literally, I often compare myself as like I'm a genius in comparison to these guys because at least I know I learn stuff. These guys don't learn stuff, and it's like that same barber doesn't learn from his constant interaction. It's like, okay, first time didn't go well. You at least would learn the second time, but no, he just kept saying the same thing over and over to a point where it's like, yeah. So pretty interesting video because it's all for the wrong topics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, what about you, Gray? What did you think of that video?
Yeah, I got kind of mixed feelings. I think it's pretty cringe, but I think that's kind of her right to be cringe. And if the clientele wants that level of cringe, like who am I to say you can't do this? But yeah, I think almost all of us that talked about it kind of agreed we wouldn't want to go to that barber.
Yeah.
It does seem like an awful lot of hoops to jump through just to get a haircut. But I don't know. Like, again, I used to go to the super hippy dippy guy, and I knew that I was paying a premium to go there and smell like eucalyptus oil and have it like water falls in the background and have it with like, I think there was pan flute music or something. It was very meditative. I knew that I was, not paying like whatever the place in the mall's prices or whatever. I knew that, this was a premium service. I think that's what she's offering. And I think she did a hell of an advertising job. This thing really blew up. So I'm guessing people that want that style of treatment will definitely be looking her up. So good on her. But yeah, cringe as hell.
I agree with you 100%. So yeah, next week we will do something similar we did when we started this season. So the first episode, I don't know yet if we will have a in-depth topic. We will talk about the pillars and our expectation and a reminder of what the podcast is for any newcomer that just found the podcast and they're like, oh, that's the first time I'm watching. They need to know what's going on there and the planning for season 2. Anyhow, I had a blast this season. Guys are amazing. Yeah, that was fun. I like that stream.
It was
here
fun,
again.
man. Thank you for doing all the work of getting us together, getting us all together, and coming up with all these questions every week and the topics. We rarely contributed, but hell yeah, man, this was fun.
Just being there is to contribute. That's how I see it.
Oh no, we contributed to the conversation. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, we did the heavy lifting, if you will, in the conversation. No, I'm just kidding. But no, man, this was really fun. It was great getting to know you guys. Yeah, this season was a blast, man.
And again, I will put a disclaimer again, and I will repeat what I already said. If any of you know someone that would be interested, don't be shy. Invite them. Chat number 2 is almost full. So if it becomes full, we will create a chat number 3, just like the REDBLUE podcast. So yeah, feel free to invite people. And I hope in season 2 we will have even more guests. I don't have much expectation there because not everyone likes deeper talk and deeper discussions. But hey, if we got them, we got them, right? So, DC, what do you have going on your end of the internet?
Like I said yesterday, I should not have a video up for this week and just this week only, due to the fact that I was sick last week. I had to catch up on all the stuff. That's why next week I should have a lot more videos coming out. But yeah, that's
okay.
But yeah.
Well, this is very good. So this week I unlisted REDBLUE. So unlist Window to Our Mind.
All right.
With that being said, Gray, what do you have going on your end of the internet?
I guess a few things. Yeah, tonight I'm hoping to have a conversation on my channel a little later with a professional comedian. There's been a bunch of people saying that Chappelle's special is not funny. So yeah, we wanted to have a discussion about that and kind of get a comedian's opinion on that. Then tomorrow on That Darn Kiddo's channel is always Thinkers on Thursdays. And then this weekend, I'm actually having a debate with a guy. I think AI art is a good thing. He's a professional artist, and he thinks it's a bad thing. So I think that's going down on Saturday. So yeah, I should be doing some content this week.
Your
What
channel
about you,
or
Multi?
is for the debate? Your channel or is for the debate?
Oh, my channel. I think everything except for Thinkers will be on my channel. But oh yeah,
That's great.
What about you, Multi? What you got going on?
I got a lot going on. So Tuesday, Wednesday, we got our podcast. So the rest of the week, I don't really have planned days because it depends on my time. And this week, I had a lot going on with the change in computers. So because of that, I don't know if I will do extra streams. We will see how it goes. If I do extra streams, I will try out Advanced Wars by Web again with this new computer, and I hope it will be better than Monday stream. Otherwise, Splinter Cell will be back eventually. I haven't streamed in a long time, Splinter Cell, and I do miss this game. Amazing game. Naruto stream and Naruto video in the making. So yeah, a lot going on. Very active, and with that being said, this is the end of season 2, and that was amazing. Season 1. What's going on? I'm tired.
It's just the start of season 2, man.
Yeah,
After we hit end.
So next week we reveal the intro that Gray did. Good job on that. Thank you a lot for the intro, Gray. I cannot wait to reveal it. Everyone will get to hear it for the first time. That will be fun. Anyhow, we are out for today. Stay tuned for stuff on everyone's channel, and bye-bye.